God, we need a detox after last video. Next time is going to be building a giant ecosystem Vivarium 3, the next chapter. Never saw 1 or 2 though, but this was recommended to me, so we're going to go ahead and do it. We need a hard detox after last video, so we'll be watching this one. Let's just get right into it. Obviously, I need a detox, okay?
I'm about to reach a whole new level of crazy. This is Pandora.
This is a
my
good
cloud
detox.
rainforest floor vivarium, home to a plethora of exotic life and biological relationships aplenty. It's attached to a second vivarium on the floor above called Orchidia, the rainforest's treetops, home to its own menagerie of tree-dwelling creatures.
Cool.
But I have a surprise. After months of
Subterranean?
painstaking planning and decision-making, I'm finally ready to reveal my next grand and exciting biological project, sure to hands down blow your mind. AC family, behold the next generation. Giant Vivarium 3, set to be the biggest and most challenging vivarium I've ever attempted in my life.
Okay. No way.
Welcome to the next chapter in our giant rainforest saga. Season 4 of my Ecosystem Vivarium series starts now.
I may be here a little late, but you know, let's enjoy
Subscribe
this.
to my channel and hit the bell icon. Welcome to the AC family. Enjoy. What is this third giant vivarium, you ask? Will it be connected to Pandora and Orchidia? Well, I'll be sharing all the details of our giant Vivarium 3 in a bit. But I'll be honest, I decided to go all out with this next tank.
I'm here to
Pandora
watch.
broke the internet with its evolution as a rainforest.
It looks awesome.
Orchidia, the first of its kind, allowed us a unique peek at a whole new world existing in the rainforest canopy. But this next tank had to be different. A true step above the rest. It would require all my life's knowledge in vivariums, as well as resources to execute. Months prior, I had the blueprints drawn up. I wanted this third vivarium to be even bigger than the previous two. The entire setup was 10.5 feet long, and the living area about 5.4 feet tall, and deeper than the other two vivaria at 2.5 feet. It also came in 2 parts, which I'll get more into later. When completed, Giant Vivarium 3 would be the largest, most complex chunk of living natural space I've ever created in my life. A dream vivarium just full of opportunities to learn about the natural world. Stay tuned for the grand reveal of what biome this new vivarium is later in the video. But let's play a game. Try to guess the biome and leave your guesses in the comments. I'll be giving you clues along the way. Now, I didn't know it yet, but the adventure would begin
I'm excited to see this.
even before putting any life in. Right at the build.
I'm very excited to see what animals and insects and like general like things he uses here, because I am such an animal nerd. I like animals so much. I've said this in many videos, and I'll say it again. I love animals, and I want to see what this has in store. I want to see everything he chooses, and I love it. I love it. I love it.
Building stage of Giant Vivarium 3, where the construction of this massive and complex vivarium would not quite go as planned.
Very dramatic.
So over the holidays, my team and I had been super busy rearranging the ant room. We moved Volcania and the Crimson Knights, my fire ant colony, who by the way are still doing well, to a new place to accommodate the new tent build. This was where I chose to move them, because where they were was where Vivarium 3 was going to be built. It was the perfect spot for it. When the ant room was first built 3 years ago, I anticipated I'd be building such a setup in this exact spot. So I made sure to have a drain, hose, and power source built here. Once the spot was prepped, we were ready to begin building. So here's the first clue as to what biome I'm hoping to construct for this vivarium.
All right.
Giant Vivarium 3 will contain water, A lot of it.
Okay.
More than the 25-gallon Blackwater Pond of Pandora and the little canopy puddles of Arcadia.
I love his names, Pandora,
But incorporating
Arcadia.
such an amount of water required some very specific features. First, the structure itself had to be completely different, designed to hold a large amount of water. Now, with the way Pandora and Arcadia was made, the pieces of glass were fixated together using a joint. This joint was then siliconed. However, I quickly realized that this design was a bit problematic, as the setup leaked a couple times, and we had to reseal as needed. It was imperative that Giant Vivarium 3 had to be absolutely 100% waterproof.
Yes, that makes sense.
There was no room for error, as it could potentially kill a lot of life once established. The setup had to be leak-free. So this time, the Vivarium had to be glass against glass, no joint. Also, with a greater amount of water, the base of the Vivarium had to be much stronger than that of the previous two Vivaria.
Leg day, bro. Get it upstairs.
I had a custom-made base fashioned from steel, strong enough to carry 6 tons of weight. It was vital for Giant Vivarium 3's bed to be solid. It was carried up into the ant room and was placed here, which may seem a bit off-center at first, but I chose this spot so it wouldn't surpass the beam above it and fall below a net floor above. When it's all done, you'll see that it turned out to be the perfect spot.
Wait a minute, we're skipping
Also,
over that.
the large amount of water of Giant Vivarium 3
That's a cool design,
meant
like
greater pressure pushing outward against the glass panels. And so certain structural pieces, which weren't really needed for Pandora and Arcadia, had to be incorporated into the design to ensure the glass wouldn't break from all the water. Overall, on paper, it was easily the most complicated structural build for Vivarium I've ever attempted. But come building day, when the truck and building team arrived at my home, I was stunned at just how complicated the build would actually be. Our Giant Vivarium 3 required a total of 30 separate pieces of glass of varying sizes, each of which had to be unloaded from a truck.
I'm surprised
by hand.
If it's placed like that, I'm surprised it didn't break.
The pieces were carried into my home, up the stairs, and into the ant room on the second floor. Each piece was laid down until we were ready for assembly.
You gotta grab that. This shit, it breaks, it's over. It breaks, it's over, you know? One trip and it's over. Never mind. Imagine it was one guy doing this. That'd be crazy. How are they gonna make that turn? You gotta lift it up.
The final piece was this massive front panel. I held my breath throughout the entire transport process.
Lift that up, yeah. What is this? A giant. Somebody's building a giant ecosystem. You know those like those big you know those small little glass containers that would contain like an entire like ecosystem. He's building like a big one, like a really big one. That kind of makes sense. Yeah. They're making like a really big one. I'm very interested, like an ant farm. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that, chat, like an ant farm. Yeah, this glass breaks is all over though. Damn, tight turn. Very interesting decoration. Not my taste.
And then when all was set, we began the assembly process. The main pieces were siliconed into place, and what an adventure it was.
Okay.
So here's another clue. Have a look at the back glass panel. That ledge marks where the water line will be.
Oh,
the
that's a
whole
lot
setup
of water.
won't be just water. It will be, other things, too. In total, this vivarium would be housing 450 gallons of water.
Wow,
380
that's a lot of
gallons in the main tank, and 70 gallons for the sump. Which brings us to another clue regarding this setup. This vivarium required an entirely separate living space below, known in the aquarium hobby as a sump. This area would house a plethora of critical microbial life to keep the water portion of the entire vivarium clean and livable for all its creatures. Aquatic creatures.
What other things, Lowell?
Will
I
also
don't
be
know.
living down
I'm trying
here
to
in the
guess
sump
here.
as well. Holes were drilled into the bottom glass panel to accommodate the necessary piping. All parts were siliconed into place. This stage was super critical because water would be able to find the slightest weakness or space in the sealant and spring a leak. The team made sure to check all work 3 times.
On an unrelated note, I wanted the name of the crawfish he got to be Leonardo da Vinci. He didn't take. Well, you know what? I don't. That's a fucking great name, though. Leonardo da Vinci is fucking great.
To ensure there wouldn't be a single leak. I prayed there wouldn't be.
It's a great name. It is a great name.
Next, we needed to construct framing, doors, and mesh ventilation. A separate team came in to help build that. The frame would line the exposed edges of glass. Coverings of the
song.
sump area
This is the most used song ever in YouTube. It has been used everywhere.
would line the exposed edges of glass. Coverings of the sump area and a top canopy, as well as all doors into the tank. Now, while the team is finishing
Looks
that
good,
up,
though. It looks
let's do
good.
a quick update on the residents of Pandora and Orcadia, shall we?
All right.
Waking up from his slumber, due to all the noise, was Godzilla, our resident spectacled caiman. He was a big boy and has been eating a lot.
I see. He's very
He
cute.
gazed at the next vivarium with great interest. I wonder what he was thinking. Another reptile, looking at all the action, was Snap, our resident sunskink, who was now a young adult, quite large and content, but still shy. He's been feasting on the plethora of crickets who were undergoing a population boom at the moment. Males were singing and filling the ant room with cricket music. Chromatogaster ants were busy milking honeydew from mealybugs, as well as constructing new
Cool.
tunnels in the stump. Giant pothos had completely taken over the summit of the stump and was unfurling larger and larger leaves.
I love the music he's using for this.
A bagworm, with its protective home of collected debris, formed the perfect disguise against the ants. I saw an Asian bullet ant and golden carpenter ants. Even an ant mimicking spider.
Oh, fuck that.
The cutest
I hate
baby
spiders
grasshoppers
like that.
had emerged,
Just be a
feeding
spider,
on
bro.
vine leaves and kicking away any ants that stopped to sniff them out. Giant trapjaw ants were doing home maintenance, and all seemed normal in the Pandoran lowlands. Up high in Orcadia, Anidu, a giant grasshopper, was munching on banyan leaves.
I'm loving the
She
name.
was such a voracious eater. The tree frogs were awake and seemed to be able to tell something was happening below. Something big that would greatly impact them. And turns out, They were right. For when the construction was complete, this is what our giant Vivarium 3 looked like.
Yeah, look at this, man. What are they gonna do with this? I know it's gonna be water, but like,
AC
what kind
family,
of ecosystem?
behold, giant Vivarium 3. Even empty, it was majestic and just gorgeous. And talk about huge. Walking up to it was truly breathtaking. This vivarium was definitely a long tank, which would make landscaping it, when the time came, super fun.
Okay.
It had a top mesh and housing for lighting above. There was a pair of backsliding doors. As well as side mesh doors.
It's a lot of entrance points.
These blue pipes were the intake and overflow, where water would enter the sump below.
It was great.
Magnetic.
I wonder what he's gonna do with it though. Like, I'm thinking it's gonna be definitely like a tropical environment for sure, right? With all the water, the and everything, right? It has to be something tropical.
Covers concealed the sump beneath the main tank. The water would make its way through all the compartments, then end up here, at this end of the sump, where it would be pumped back up through this pipe and back into the setup.
Ah, it's a whole rotating thing. Okay.
So, can you guess what biome our giant Vivarium 3 will be?
I already said tropical is my best guess.
Well, in case you haven't yet, this Vivarium will be a tank that I've wanted to do for years. And finally, it has become a reality.
Okay.
Vivarium 3 will be a tropical wetlands vivarium.
Okay, let's go. I was right, tropical.
It would eventually be just filled to the brim with new and exciting life, aquatic, terrestrial, and amphibious. This vivarium would require a ton of regulating equipment and would stretch all my vivarium building skills and knowledge to the limit. Though challenging, in my mind, if we could pull this tropical wetlands vivarium off, it could easily be the most mind-blowing slice of biological habitat
I guess
ever made on this
just
channel.
Take care of it, and you know
But
what?
that's not all.
Go for it.
For those wondering if it would also be connected to Pandora
Would
and
it?
Orcadia,
Would it?
the answer is yes.
No
It will
way.
connect to Pandora once completed through
You're
a
connecting
caved
it to the other
tunnel
ones.
vivarium running along the ceiling, bridging the two worlds together. A glass panel above the vivarium could allow for a bridge to yet another future vivarium on the floor above. And now, AC
That's
family,
cool as
the
fuck.
true fun
Connecting
begins.
all of them together.
It was
Wait,
now
is this not the
time
end guy? I
to
don't
fill
know.
the
Is this the
vivarium
end guy?
with
I
water
have no idea.
so I could start the landscaping process. With great joy, I began to fill our giant Vivarium 3 with water and watched as our empty glass enclosure welcomed its new waters.
Ain't no way this man's making water come into the vivarium look majestic. You can't do this. Why are you making it look majestic, bro? It's just water.
Watching
It's
the tank fill up with water was an entrancing, beautiful sight. I felt so honored as a lover of nature and creator of natural spaces for ants and other creatures to be here, working on the biggest indoor vivarium build I've ever done. My dream tank with all of you, I was so grateful at this very moment as our giant Vivarium 3 filled up with life-giving water.
And microplastics. I'm sorry. It's-
But in an instant, the dream had quickly transformed into my worst nightmare.
No! What happened? A leak! No! A leak!
A leak! And not just one, but two!
Where?
No!
Drain it off! Abort! No, you can't do that. No way! No way! No!
Oh, and my
Come
community
on!
tab to affect this story.
No, you can't do this to me.
This?
You can't do this to me. Okay, she's got more. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright. There's more. We will get the next one. Okay. Oh, thank you for the taco. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Troy Spain Parjor. Thank you for the follow. I'm sorry if I butchered that. That is Ants Canada though. Ah. I'm gonna subscribe. We'll do more. We'll do more later. All right. Well, that was our first one. That was entertaining. All right, YouTube. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. As always, I'll leave the video on the top of the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will catch you guys later. Bye bye, YouTube.